Imagine you've just been recruited into the Roman army. At your side are other men, all recruits like you, going through the same process at a Roman recruitment post. Some of these recruits are like you, voluntari, men who presented themselves of their own free will and brought a letter of recommendation to be evaluated by a superior. They seek adventure, glory in battle, or the chance at a better life. These volunteers, many of them young and strong, are the dream of any Roman recruiting officer. In their midst, however, are other men. Some are the vicari, who volunteered to take the place of someone who was forced to enlist, perhaps for money or to honor a family obligation. Their motivation isn't heroism, but necessity, a kind of sacrifice born of life's circumstances. Lastly, and wearing the grimmest expressions, are the lecti, those who were recruited involuntarily. They had no choice. For them, military service isn't an opportunity, but a sentence. Regardless of what brought them here, the Legion treats everyone the same way. From now on, your past doesn't matter. You will now begin the probatio, a test to prove who you are. One by one, the names are read, and you wait for yours. When your name is finally called, your only task is to answer aloud, stating that you are present. The line moves forward slowly, and each man is examined with rigorous attention. A recruiting officer reviews your letter of recommendation. The questions aren't just about your name, but about your family, your hometown, and your character. The goal is to make sure you're not an imposter or someone with a problematic history. Then comes the physical exam. The assessment is thorough, meant to ensure you can endure what's to come. Your teeth, your body, your height, and your overall health are checked. The examining officer has just finished with you. He looked you up and down, checked your health and strength, and found no fault. You feel a mix of relief and dread. The recruitment test, the probatio, is finally over. But your journey is, in truth, only beginning. You and the other men who passed are lined up, shoulder to shoulder. In your mind, you know this is the last moment you are a free man. Until now, you were just a civilian. If, at this instant, panic seized you, you could still run. But what happens in the next few minutes will shape the rest of your life. The officer surveys the line of men, and his words are cold and direct. He reads the military oath. The sound of his voice seems to come from far away, but the words echo in your mind. You are about to swear loyalty to the Senate, to the people of Rome, and eventually to the emperor himself. You hear the officer's words, and then the recruit in front of you repeats them, firm and clear. You hear the recruit promise to obey orders with enthusiasm and without question. He renounces the protection of Roman civil law and accepts that his commander has the power to condemn him to death without a formal trial for disobedience or desertion. He swears to serve faithfully according to the standards for the allotted term of service and not to leave before being discharged. The words of the oath are a contract you're about to sign with your life. The recruit swears to serve Rome, even at the cost of his own life, and promises to respect the laws regarding civilians and his comrades. Finally, the officer declares, "Congratulations, you are now a soldier of Rome." The officer gives you a nod to step forward. You don't need to repeat the entire text. From now on, the process moves faster. You take a step forward and repeat the oath of the previous recruit. With a few words, you cease to be a civilian and become a soldier of Caesar. Your life now belongs to Rome. Fleeing the barracks is no longer an option. It is desertion, and the punishment is death. You are now a cog in Rome's great war machine, and the only thing left to do is fulfill your duty for the next 25 years. Or, as the oath implies, until the end of your life, whichever is shorter. Immediately after the ceremony, you are led to a registration table where your new identity is officially recorded. An examining officer looks you over with a cold, practical gaze. Your name is entered, and then he notes all your distinguishing marks, scars, moles, or any physical detail that makes you unique. This record is your first official document. The officer is cataloguing you in case you become a deserter. Each mark serves as irrefutable proof of your identity, should you try to return to civilian life. And likewise, they will serve to identify you among the piles of bodies on a battlefield, ensuring that your death is officially recorded. Next, you receive a signaculum, a small metal tag placed on a leather thong and fastened around your neck. On the signaculum are engraved the most important details about you: your full name, your unit in the Legion, and perhaps even your place of origin. This small object is your identification, your record, your proof of existence as a soldier. The line moves in silence, and each of you receives the same metal tag. With the oath taken and your new identity recorded, your fate is set. Your life as a recruit begins now. The first stage is the journey to your new home, the Legion's barracks, which may be a considerable distance from the recruitment post. For this journey, you receive a travel allowance, money to cover your expenses on the road. For a brief moment, you feel a small sense of freedom. But as you quickly learn, that freedom is an illusion. You and the other recruits do not travel alone. An officer from your new unit, an experienced soldier, is there to guide you. He has traveled the route before and knows the best places to stay. The first lesson of military life doesn't come on the training ground, but on the road. You are expected to hand him your travel money. The officer manages the group's funds, negotiating prices for everyone. In return, he ensures you aren't cheated and that the route is as safe as possible. The decision isn't yours. The money isn't yours to spend as you wish, but for the group under the Legion's supervision. Arriving at the barracks after a long journey, you and the other recruits receive directions from the soldiers on guard at the gates. The first thing you notice is the size of the fortress. The castrum, the Legion's home, is a city unto itself, with high walls, massive gates, and soldiers working everywhere. After passing through a series of gates and courtyards, you're brought to a large warehouse. You receive everything you'll need to survive and fight: your lorica segmentata, your shield, the gladius, and the pilum, the heavy spear you'll use to hurl at the enemy. Carrying everything, you're taken to your new quarters. Your room is, in fact, a cramped little space you'll share with 7 other soldiers, your contubernium, your new family. There is no privacy. Your space is small, and you and your new comrades will have to learn to live in harmony. With your new armor, your weapons, and a place to sleep, your life as a soldier of Rome can finally begin. But your journey is only starting. The next day, you wake before sunrise, in the chill of morning, to the sound of hundreds of other men stirring in the dark. As you get ready, you feel the pressure of the unknown. The first important task of your day is the morning parade. For you, a civilian until yesterday, it's a strange, intimidating ritual. You join your centuria, the unit with which you now live. Everyone lines up in a precise, eerily silent formation. The watchful eyes of the centurions and optios scan the ranks, searching for any flaw. There lies your first test of discipline. During the parade, the most important announcements are made. You hear the orders of the day read aloud by an officer. Your mind tries to process the words about marching orders and letters from the governor. As soon as roll call ends, the first order you hear is to march. The march begins with a weight you never imagined carrying. In total, it's about 20 kilos that become an extension of your body. The optio, your instructor, demands that you keep the same pace, covering about 30 kilometers in just 5 hours. This march, known as the regular step, isn't a leisurely walk. It's done over varied terrain, from dirt roads to steep climbs and streams. If you tire, the optio will report it to the centurion upon returning to the barracks, and you will be disciplined with the vine staff. And the intensity only increases. Once you show you can endure the regular step, the optio imposes the faster stage, 35 kilometers in 5 hours, keeping the same weight. There are no breaks and no complaints are tolerated. After your body and mind are tested by the marches, you come to what seems to be the main point of your new life: combat training. The logic here, however, is something that would surprise you. Your instructor hands you a sword, but instead of metal, it's made of wood. and to your shock, it's heavier than any sword you've ever held. The reason is simple. These training weapons are designed to be twice as heavy as the real sword, the gladius. The same goes for your spear, the pilum. You'll learn to hurl a heavier version at a wooden dummy or a stake. The focus isn't on wide swings or brute force, but on short, precise movements. Every sword strike and every throw is repeated to exhaustion. Upon returning to the barracks, you and the other recruits have a meal. But who said you're going to rest? Cleaning the camp latrines is your next job. They were open trenches, and keeping them usable was your task. The stench was unbearable and the filth a shock to anyone. This work, humiliating and nausea-inducing, was a way to break any vanity you might have and to teach a lesson in obedience. The optio who is supervising you watches closely with a gaze that seems to read your every thought. He looks for the tiniest slip, an error in cleaning or a hint of disgust on your face. And if he finds one, he doesn't hesitate to shout insults in front of everyone, humiliating you and demanding that you redo the task until it's flawless. As you struggle to scrub away the filth, the veterans, who have been through all this, watch from a distance. They see you as an inexperienced newcomer, and you're an easy target. The harassment begins with jokes about your smell and your job. They mock your inexperience and take pleasure in your discomfort. This cruelty, however, has a purpose. They're testing you. They want to see if you'll complain, cry, or try to fight back. Cleaning the latrines finally ends, but exhaustion gives you no rest. Your next task is hauling firewood. The campfires must be kept burning all night for cooking and warmth. You join a line of men carrying large, uneven logs. The wood weighs on your shoulders, and the splinters scrape your skin. Your body, already pushed to the limit by the march, is now forced into a final effort. You have no choice but to keep going. With the last rays of sun, the work finally ends. The only sound is everyone's heavy breathing. You and your companions collect your evening rations, probably the same dry bread or wheat porridge. The hunger is so great that the food, however simple, seems like the most delicious thing in the world. After the meal, the only thing you want is to lie down. Your bed is hard and uncomfortable, but your body is so drained you barely care. You lie down and feel the pain in every muscle. Your feet ache from so much marching, and the blisters on your hands burn from a day's worth of labor. All that remains is the fatigue, the pain, and the certainty that tomorrow it will all begin again. After 2 years of hard work, sleepless nights, and constant effort, one day your perseverance is rewarded. You receive the title of Miles, the first promotion. It isn't the height of a career, but it's recognition that you are no longer an inexperienced recruit. But tell me in the comments whether you think you could endure a day as a recruit in a Roman legion. And if you liked this video, leave your like and subscribe to our channel. See you in the next video.